These are the 10 best restaurants in the great first state of Delaware, and whether you're craving some seafood, some sushi, some steak, something high class you plan for, or if you're looking to just stop late night for a taco, cheeseburger, something greasy, we got a whole list pre-prepared, ready to go. The 10 best spots, in my opinion, in Delaware. We're going to walk through them one by one, starting with number 10. Cue the Italian music. It's Frederica Pizza and Pasta House. If you've ever listened to a local radio station, you've probably heard their ads. And if you've never been to Delaware, you've probably never driven down Route 1 through Frederica. That's exactly where it's located. And if you're getting pasta, you're getting pizza, or secretly, I'd like to say their best item is their cheesesteak, you're not going to be disappointed. I love this spot. I love the vibe and family atmosphere of the staff and at the bar. The food is homemade. The desserts are just, go to the Frederica Pizza Pasta House. You got to do it. Also, you have to go to number 3, but I'm keeping it at number 3 for a reason. So you got to stick around for number 3 because not a lot of people know about him yet. Number 9 is a bit more on the fancy side. And to be honest with you, there's going to be a lot of people who hear this and are like, Zach, this is number 9. This should be like number 1, number 2 at least. Come on, it's top 3, but it ain't 3. But for me, it's number 9 because the Bardea is beautiful. The bar is luxurious, and the fancy and the rich will go there. It's one of the best luxury dining experiences, fine dining experiences you will find in Delaware. And if you're searching for that, you have found it. That is located beautifully in Wilmington. You'll love that area, very walkable, and the space is just modernly upkept historically. If that makes any sense to you, check it out, get a reservation. You're gonna have to get a reservation. It's not like a walk in and get food type place. Check out Bardea. Number 8 is for the sandal wearer, for the person who wants to put on some sunscreen. You can sit inside here. But regardless, this is the vibe at this spot, and they got a spot in Middletown and a spot in Lewes. The spot in Middletown will have to wait, because my favorite spot is the Crooked Hammock in Lewes, just off the Ocean Highway, just before you really get into the beach hubbub across from that Wawa. You local Delawareans know what I'm talking about. It's the Crooked Hammock, big outdoor space and a mixed living scenario where you kind of like you're inside, but you feel like you're outside. The ring tosses, the play areas, the cornhole, the actual hammocks, and even sitting in the back of a pickup truck, the Crooked Hammock's got everything outdoorsy, and then the menu to die for. Nachos, burgers, crab dip, all alike. It's good, it's great, and it's honestly one of my favorite spots in Delaware. Imagine it's the 1800s, and you query yourself for a quick meal to quench yourself of hunger, but you don't know where to go. Well, this beautiful building that's been around since then, but recently purchased, renovated, and brought to life is the Jackson House. The Jackson House is located right here in downtown Dover. What a menu. From the brunch to the just like kind of fancy-ish, like picnicky lunch type deal to just like getting a good burger. Like, this place is diverse. It's a solid spot. You can go and sit outside on the porch while you eat and they'll serve you. And then the inside space, absolutely beautifully kept. Nothing can be said wrong about this property. The Jackson House, as a restaurant and as a building, top tier. Number 6 is located, and I'm going to go ahead and say my favorite downtown in Delaware, at least one of the, because the Milton downtown is absolutely on fire with its growth. They're doing such a great job. And this specific restaurant, the Dough Bar, is one of my favorite spots that's there. Homemade pizza, beer flights, and getting to sit outside in an inflatable igloo during the winter seasons. Located right off the river in Milton, the Dough Bar is an incredible little spot. And I mean little, it's not humongous. It's got the bar and all, but it's a more condensed spot. It's more just you get in there, you get served quickly, you get a quality meal from quality people, and man, is it good. Man, is it good. All across the menu have not had a bad meal. They're high up on this list for a reason. I don't want you to like pin them all against each other, but in my opinion, this is the start of the top 5. And though the Dough Bar came close, Hamilton's on Main is clocking in at number 5. We have an incredible menu there. And to be honest with you, we have a shoot that we're going to be doing out there. We had them on for our podcast. The owners and Jeremiah and Anthony were just absolutely splendid to get to know as individuals and humans. And they are doing a beautiful thing for Northern Delaware and the culinary world. They have such a young staff that all comes from the University of Delaware. That brings vibrance and energy, and the quality of their work and their food and the consistency they bring it in. Not many people are offering it. Make your way over to Hamilton's on Main. And if you're farther south in Delaware, I hear there might be another location in the works. Stay tuned. Again, if you haven't heard of number 3, you're going to want to. Number 4 is another podcast guest. He is somebody I really enjoyed his background. This guy is a music nut. He is a aficionado with cooking. Growing up from just a food truck outside of a restaurant in Lewes, Delaware, to now a food truck that travels the entire states for events and has its own 2 brick and mortar locations. Taco Reho is your go-to spot for an authentic taco in Delaware. They're giving you 3 at a time. They're coming in the little corn tortillas that are nice and small. They're making them right. Give me my pollos chicken. I said Spanish. Would that be in Spanish chicken? I think I did. Regardless, give me the tacos. They're great. Go to Taco Reho. This is the number 3 I was telling you about. I almost want to skip it so you don't get to know about it right now. But I'm telling you right now, this is my new favorite spot. The only reason it's not number 1 is simply due to history. They haven't been around long enough. But between the ownership and the connections we've had with their staff and the food, and again, service and consistency are a big part for me. Like, I want to have a similar feeling and I want to enjoy the staff when I'm there. Here in Dover, RailHaus. They have tents out in the winter. They have giant umbrellas out now here during the summer. And they're serving beer on tap. They got a mixed drink menu that's fantastic. And their true to inspired German menu, between the pretzels and the burgers and the actual sausages and the way they make their fries, all of it inspired. Say hi to Steven, their lead cook, or Jess, or Don, or Lisa, or any of these people over there, because they're going to want to talk to you too. They have a fantastic staff. I love the RailHaus. I think they're one of the spots that's going to be here for a very long time and maybe even spark some growth in downtown Dover. Also, if you're lucky, they're right next to a railroad track and it literally like rides by them. That's cool. Number 2 is the spot to be for just the 2 of you, or maybe a pack of 8, or even a brunch. This spot is a splendid date. It's a little different take on a standard night out, gets a little bit of flavor involved, all while keeping some consistency. You hear me say that often. Again, I want my consistently quality meals. I'm right in my hometown if I'm going here to Fondue. Oh, have you ever been to Melting Pot? Any place like that where they're like, hey, you get to cook your own food. I'm joking, kind of. They do make you cook your own food, but it's with precision and it's with quality. Homegrown, right here in Delaware, quality ingredients. A bar that's inspired from their other restaurant, Easy Speak, and the Alcoholer, which you've probably seen throughout Delaware. The owners here, Zach and Marissa, have been passionate about the growth of Milford and have been a leading charge behind some of downtown's growth. This restaurant here on the corner, though, of Front and Walnut Street is just an absolute gem, in my opinion, for the city. It's a great restaurant, fantastic. Every week you could go and bring your date and still have a great experience. I love Fondue. I wish myself I even went more, and I heard it go quite a bit. Fondue is a spot to be, and one of the sister restaurants like Easy Speak or even their Alcoholer are always going to be a good time. And number 1 has not a 1 in its name. It's actually got different numbers in its name, and it's been my favorite place to go get lunch, to grab a drink, to go on a date, to go on a night out. It doesn't matter. I love this spot for one reason, and one reason 3 times. The burgers, and the burgers. Restaurant 55 can't be touched. If you know of a better burger in Delaware, comment it below, but I doubt you do. Restaurant 55's stuffed burgers, themed burgers, they do all different types of stuff with their burgers. They're all over the place. Custom and consistently just mouth-watering. The appetizers, from the whole spear fried pickles. They have beer flights that are just fantastic. And I believe they have a stuffed meatloaf, if I'm not crazy, that's also top tier when for some reason I'm not getting a burger. I love this spot. Right on State Street, next to another fan favorite, cult favorite, probably just outside the top 10 Cool Springs. I love Restaurant 55, and if there were a restaurant I was going to on my deathbed to sit down and eat at, it's going to be Restaurant 55.